everybody, John12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you another top 5. It's that time of the week again, so let's get into this week's top 5 list. Now, of course, last time I gave you my top 5 worst Marvel movies list. Now I'm time to give you my top 5 best Marvel movies list. Of course, there's been tons of amazing movies that come from Marvel comic books, and for this specific top 5 list, I would not be including, I do have a specific criteria, and I would not be including any of the MCU movies, because I do have specific lists dedicated to the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I will not be including any of those movie franchises like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, etc., etc. However, for this specific criteria, I will be choosing more than one movie for each franchise. So, like the XMen franchise or the SpiderMan franchise, I may or may not be using more than one movie from each respective universe. So, with that being said, let's get into this top 5 list, and also, as always, with all my lists, they're subjective. It's my personal list, my personal thoughts, so of course, comment below and let me know what your personal top 5 lists are of the best and most amazing comic book movies to come from Marvel. But that being said, coming up number 5 has to go to Blade, the original Blade. This is the movie that basically started it all. Wesley Snipes, of course, kicking ass, a whole bunch of shit going down, a bloody shower of awesomeness. Vampires, yes. Not the douchey ones in the other movies. This is the one where it's fucking awesome and badass. Blade, of course, started more or less the resurgence of the superhero genre, where it was kind of dead for a long time in between the 90s and the early 2000s. However, Blade pretty much brought it back alongside the Bryan Singer X-Men movie. However, if it wasn't for this original Blade movie, we would have not have gotten the amazing superhero genre that we have today. Now, of course, I really appreciate what Blade has done. However, the rest of the franchise hasn't really been as amazing as this original movie. I do enjoy Del Toro's Blade 2 is really badass. Blade Trinity, not as much, and I really don't even know I really don't even want to talk about the Blade TV show. However, this original Blade movie is awesome and badass, and one of the best Marvel movies, and if it wasn't for this movie, we wouldn't have any Marvel movies at all. But that being said, moving off of that, going to number 4 on this list has to go to the Wolverine. Of course, the second solo Wolverine movie within the X-Men franchise. Of course, 20th Century Fox fucked up, as always, when it comes to their solo movies for amazing characters, and yeah, they really fucked up with the Wolverine Origins, which was a terrible freaking movie of biblical proportions. However, they redeemed themselves with the Wolverine. The Wolverine is an amazing, awesome story of, Hugh Jackman's character Logan, aka Wolverine, going to Japan, having some misadventures over there. Whole bunch of crazy shit goes down, taking on the Silver Samurai. Whole bunch of shit is hitting the fan over at Japan when it comes to Wolverine. And I always really enjoyed this movie. I know a lot of people give it a lot of flack. A lot of people don't want to give the credit it deserves. But I really enjoyed it. Now, granted, the third act is a little kind of messy, and I will admit the final boss character, or the final villain boss, if you will, the Silver Samurai, wasn't the most amazing thing in the world. However, the movie as a whole was awesome. I mean, like, that train sequence, come on, and Wolverine, fucking Hugh Jackman, fucking awesome. I mean, I'm just saying, samurais, Wolverine, Japan, what else can you ask for? That's an awesome, badass movie in my book. But that, moving off of that, going to number 3 on this list, has to go to X-Men Days of Future Past. X-Men Days of Future Past is just one of those amazing, badass X-Men movies. It, of course, was I guess you could say, the resurgence of the X-Men franchise to a certain extent, that has really developed this entirely new franchise that I really enjoy and love. And, of course, was the colliding of the two worlds, if you will, the X-Men First Class universe that was developed by Matthew Vaughn, and of course the original X-Men universe that was developed by Bryan Singer, collided in this one movie in a biblical, amazing way. I personally love this movie. It's awesome. It's a good bridge of both universes coming together, and I mean, a lot of people like to say, like, oh, Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe. Fox already freaking did an amazing job at crossing their universes within their X-Men movies, and this is the movie that will definitely stand the test of time. It's freaking awesome, amazing, badass. Every single character really shines, and of course, come on, that Quicksilver scene, that's the highlight of the freaking X-Men franchise, in my personal opinion. But moving off of that, going to number 2 on this list, has to go to X-Men 2. Now, X-Men 2 personally raised the stakes up when it came to the original X-Men. Personally, I love Bryan Singer's X-Men movies. They're freaking the best Marvel movies, in my personal opinion. They're the creme de la creme of Marvel movies. They're not, MCU movies in particular, but at the end of the day, Bryan Singer's X-Men 2 definitely rose and destroyed X-Men 1. It was so freaking awesome, phenomenal, amazing performances. We get some really interesting context and development with Wolverine's character. And of course, if it wasn't for this movie, we wouldn't even give a shit about the Wolverine character. The Wolverine character was, Hugh Jackman basically defined what this character was when it came to this movie. Every single character gets to shine. The Mystique character is awesome. Magneto does a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Stryker comes in as the main villain. A lot of really crazy, amazing things happen within this movie. It's phenomenal and one of my favorite and definitive X-Men movies of all time, next to frickin' Days of Future Past and, of course, all the others. But that being said, and moving off of that, I am unfortunately going to have to, pretty much just skim through the honorable mentions, so let's try and get them through quickly. X-Men First Class, amazing. Bryan Singer's original X-Men, Del Toro's Blade 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, Mark Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man 2, not really the original Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was on the other list, the crappier list, the worst list. I'm just saying, it may have looked cool, but it actually wasn't awesome. But that being said, moving off of that, let's get into this number one pick, which has to go down to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, freaking amazing. Spider-Man 2 is definitively my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I know a lot of people like to think it's an overhyped or, just like an overrated movie, but it's freaking phenomenal. It's an amazing story of Peter Parker losing his powers and trying to figure out how he can get his powers back and try to, fix up his life. His life is crap. He's dealing with a whole bunch of emotions and, his best friend hates him. You have Mary Jane who's, going off and living her own life without him. He doesn't know if he wants to continue this superhero, gig anymore. A whole bunch of conflicting storylines are happening within Spider-Man's life in this movie, and Sam Raimi just destroyed it with this movie. It was such a box office hit. It was so freaking awesome and epic. Doc Ock was just perfectly done. Doc Ock is not even one of my favorite characters from the Spider-Man verse, but he destroyed it with this movie. And overall, Spider-Man 2 is just going to go and stand the test of time and be the definitive personal favorite Marvel movie of all time. I mean, X-Men 2 is right up there, but Spider-Man 2 just destroys it at number one. Spider-Man 2 for the win. Sam Raimi killed it. Of course, there's other really amazing Spider-Man movies like Spider-Man 1 and Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man, but overall, Spider-Man 2 takes the cake. It's just awesome. The storyline is amazing. The characterizations are amazing. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 list. Comment below. Let me know what your personal top 5 list are of the best Marvel movies of all time. I gave you my top 5 worst, and now here's my top 5 best. But that being said, just let me know what you personally think. For me, these are the best of the best. The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men 2, Spider-Man 2, and of course Blade. Marvel has put out amazing comic book movies, and I just love them to death, especially the X-Men and Spider-Man franchises. Maybe not the Spider-Man franchises of now, but hopefully the MCU can redeem that. However, for future Marvel top 5 lists, I will be doing top 5 lists dedicated to the MCU, like top 5 worst or top 5 best. So be on the lookout for that. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below. Let me know what you personally think. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Jonch12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Jonch12.